just come up to you to hold it up, just to give your team a little bit of respite and to be able to try and build the play around you and get players up.
It's just played inside there for Benzema, but Ulic did well. Rabiot actually brings the ball back for the French, who are starting to really take control of this game. Croatia a little bit more counter-attack than they were in the opening 15-20 minutes or so. Still, they are resolute, well drilled. Might take something inspirational to break them down this evening. Menduzi has to go all the way back to Mignon. When you score early, your first task is to try and take that lead into half-time. Well, they're getting very close to doing it, Croatia.
And you just saw it there in terms of the shape. Again, I think it was Brekalo that had dropped right in, so it's almost a 5 at the back, a 4-5, and then the 1 at the top. Just again, it's so difficult, and I know people, you know, the defensive side isn't maybe the most exciting bit of the game, but actually when you see it done well, it's a testament to the way that these players are coached.
It is. They do look a good side. It's like Kardalic has been in charge for a number of years now. Took them, of course, to the World Cup final 4 years ago. Knocked out unluckily in the round of 16 of the Euros. A dramatic, pulsating game with Spain that went to extra time, finished 5-3. The leading here is Saint-Denis against the world champions in the UEFA Nations League. Having won in Copenhagen against the group leaders ahead of that match, and they still are because they've won 2 of their 3 games, Denmark. It's Brozovic. Kovacic, Modric, Modric, kick to Croatia, and a few seconds eaten off the clock, and half-time getting closer.
He'll take his time, no doubt that he got caught. We'll see it there, just slightly late there by Nkunku. I think someone of his experience, let's say, knew exactly what he was doing to try and draw that foul.
The attempt by Brekalo just to slip it in for Budimir as well. Bred by Konate, who is a terrific reader of the game, even for someone 23 years. Here's Modric. Drives at Koundé, tries to find Pasalic. The referee's seen a foul by Modric and a free kick to the French.
Space just seemed to open up for Modric there, didn't he? He kept going and kept going. It's the right idea, just trying to get the ball across behind that back four just for a tap in for his teammate, but just a little bit off.
Still terrific noise being generated in the French capital. We call this the final game of the season. Last match in this particular group. The French players will take around about a month off before they'll begin pre-season training for their club sides, and then of course in a few months' time they'll be in Qatar. Same for Croatia. Here's Nkunku. He's out for a corner. He did well on Nkunku. One more chance before half-time. We're in stoppage time. Challenged by Shoutalo. Hoping that his team can level before they have to come in at the interval. Led away by Brozovic and then hit by Lukadin, and then it was just turned away by Shoutalo.
It was hit really well, wasn't it? Definitely looks to be on target, so that's a vital interception.
Here he is again, Dean, and this one takes a deflection into the side netting. So in the space of 30 seconds, the Aston Villa fullback two good opportunities, and you can see the French trying to get this equaliser before half-time. It's a dangerous ball in, and Kunku got his head to it but couldn't get enough on it. And it goes out for a goal kick. It's been a pulsating first half.
Yeah, it's certainly ebbed and flowed, hasn't it? And Luca Dean there, we see that, and getting the deflection. And Kunku, he's got a good leap on him, but he's just above him. He can't quite keep it down. And it would have been a fantastic time there for France to score just before half-time, but there's still 40 or so seconds left of this half for Croatia to make sure they don't concede.
He's got a clean sheet at the moment. I think it's Vucic. Take a clean sheet to full time, it really will be one of the great away performances from Croatia. Had to make a save yet. Modric just thumped it into French territory. Conte judges the bounce. Koundé, Guendouzi, and Kunku. That is how the first half concludes, an absolutely absorbing match with a dramatic opening as well. An early penalty awarded after a little clip on the heel of Budimir. Modric tucked in the penalty. Maignan got a hand on it. French have had a few opportunities, the Croatians have as well. It has been a brilliant 45 minutes, and at half-time the Croatians lead by 1-0.
क्रिकेट ही पहनिए, खाइए, पीजिए और क्रिकेट ही ओढ़िए। जी हाँ, रविवार 26 जून रात 8 बजे से आयरलैंड वर्सेस इंडिया और शुक्रवार 1 जुलाई से इंग्लैंड वर्सेस इंडिया। सोनी पे दिखेगा।
The Aussie tornado has hit the Lankan shores. Australia tour of Sri Lanka first ODI tomorrow, 2:30 p.m. live on Sony 6.
धो डाला।
पंकज जी किसकी धुलाई?
स्मृति इंग्लैंड क्रिकेट टीम की जो रोहित शर्मा एंड टीम करने वाली है।
हाँ, हम 2-1 से आगे हैं। टेस्ट मैच जीते तो 3-1 हो जाएगा, यानी पूरी धुलाई। पर अगर
टेंशन नहीं स्मृति, ओडीआई और T20 सीरीज भी तो है ना वहाँ, फिर पटक कर धोएंगे। धुलाई प्रारंभ करें। शुरुआत होगी हिस्टोरिक टेस्ट की शुक्रवार 1 जुलाई दोपहर 2 बजे से, फिर धमाकेदार T20 और ओडीआई सीरीज।
For the final time this season, sit back and enjoy our top 5 goals from the weekend.
That's a great ball by Bellingham. Oh, what a finish that is! From a young man with enormous potential, Yusufa Moukoko, with an instant impact. Their fall away has been drastic, and Embolo adds another one. Glorious Gladbach. He's deserved that today, Breel Embolo. His 9th Bundesliga goal of the season, which is now a career best for him since his arrival in Germany.
Now Max Kruse, what's he going to do here? Oh, it's Jonas Wind, and that's a cracking finish. 5 minutes to go to half-time, and Wolfsburg are back in it. Well, they had the know-how there. Kruse, and then Jonas Wind, giving Wolfsburg wind.
Away by Jonathan Tah for Leverkusen. Now the break is on. Led by Mitchell Bakker. Now Palacios. Look where Mark Flecken is. Ezequiel Palacios from halfway to win the game for Leverkusen. A beautiful, brutal full stop to punctuate Freiburg's push for the Champions League. 90+7, the last game of the season, the last kick of the season pretty much, and Palacios from halfway 50 metres to make it 2-1 Leverkusen, to win the game and to end Freiburg's Champions League dream.
Look at Hoffmann here, and Hoffmann scores! They've got another! Jonas Hoffmann, the Foles' top scorer with a top goal. The control, the composure, and finish superb.
क्रिकेट ही पहनिए, खाइए, पीजिए और क्रिकेट ही ओढ़िए।
जी हाँ, रविवार 26 जून रात 8 बजे से आयरलैंड वर्सेस इंडिया और शुक्रवार 1 जुलाई से इंग्लैंड वर्सेस इंडिया।
Who beat Robin Soderling to win his only French Open men's singles title?
Novak Djokovic.
Question passes. What kind of surface was the Australian Open played on? What's this ultimate sports quiz all about? One dream team would be crowned the champion at the end of it all.
Match day 34 featured plenty of drama and thrills from around the league. Here are 5 saves that had us all on the edge of our seats.
Here is Paulinho, just shy of the hour mark in the game. Paulinho still. Paulinho shot, great save, Mark Flecken. This close to 2-0 for Leverkusen, and that would be curtains for Freiburg. Great save, Flecken.
Hit Silva more than anything else. It's come back to him, and Silva's forced another superb save from Stefan Ortega. That could have been the equaliser right there.
Slips it through for Martina, who is inches away from putting Mainz in front again. Actually, this is an excellent save from Kevin Trapp.
Oh, that was awkward for the goalkeeper, who's touched it onto the bar, and he's still down. I think Lotka collided with the woodwork there. Well, Lotka seems to be okay, but I have done that myself, actually, as a very poor amateur goalkeeper.
Holds the stone a little lower down here. Puts the majority of the weight on his shoulder. And he's gone really far.
तारीफ तो आमरस होती है, सबको बार बार चाहिए। बर्तन और गलत फहमियां रोज साफ ना होना तो इकट्ठा हो जाती हैं।
Remember those 22 yards in England? This is where the journey of Indian cricket began.
The media wrote about the Indian team. We were called dull dogs.
ये words जो कान में पड़ते हैं, ये आपका थोड़ा खून खुलवाते हैं।
Where other teams feared to tread, they started leaving their mark.
First time India have beaten England.
They didn't just break records, they created milestones, introduced a new champion to the world.
There is no equivalent to Kapil Dev, and they're probably right.
They feared no one.
India have taken the series.
They fought fire with fire. And they beat the English at their own game.
Let's teach our colonial masters a little bit of a lesson.
This is the story of those architects. Architects in white.
Sony Sports Network.
क्रिकेट ही पहनिए, खाइए, पीजिए और क्रिकेट ही ओढ़िए।
जी हाँ, रविवार 26 जून रात 8 बजे से आयरलैंड वर्सेस इंडिया और शुक्रवार 1 जुलाई से इंग्लैंड वर्सेस इंडिया। From pure joy,
They've written the kind of story not even Hollywood could script.
to bitter disappointment,
Heads are down.
from triumph
He's got it, and look at the crowd go crazy.
to tears.
Well, this is why we love football.
The Bundesliga season finale featured plenty of drama and emotional scenes. Here is our team of the week. In goal, we have Marvin Schweber. The 27-year-old may have been unable to prevent FC Köln from falling to a 2-1 defeat to VfB Stuttgart, but still pulled off several big saves, including keeping out a penalty.
Oh, wonderful save! Marvin Schweber proves equal to the task.
Time for our defence. At left back is Tuta from Eintracht Frankfurt. Willy Orban is at the heart of our defence.
Orban scores! Leipzig celebrates a Champions League place.
His last-minute equaliser in Bielefeld means Leipzig can look forward to another season of Champions League football. Bayern's Josip Stanisic rounds off our back line. At the left of our midfield is Wolfsburg's Max Kruse. Leverkusen's Ezequiel Palacios joins him, having scored a spectacular winning goal in a 2-1 victory against Freiburg.
Palacios from halfway to win the game for Leverkusen.
Of course, there's always a spot for Stuttgart's saviour, Wataru Endo.
And on the date, Stuttgart has salvation.
His late winner in injury time meant that Stuttgart secured safety in dramatic fashion on the final day with their 2-1 win against Köln.
The greatest of escapes for Stuttgart.
Gladbach's Jonas Hofmann rounds off our midfield. On the left of our attack is Marcus Ingvartsen from Mainz 05.
Ingvartsen has tucked it away.
He scored the first Bundesliga brace of his career in a 2-2 draw against Eintracht Frankfurt. Leading the line as the top goal scorer this season, Robert Lewandowski.
Perfect ball, Lewandowski.
The striker scored his 35th goal of the season in a 2-2 draw with Wolfsburg and has been crowned the league's top goal scorer for the 7th time. Only the legendary Gerd Müller can boast the same. Last but not least, Union Berlin's Taiwo Awoni. The Nigerian was the man of the match with his brace in a 3-2 win against Bochum.
And this is when the crowd can go crazy, because surely now Union Berlin have guaranteed their place in the Europa League.
Here it is once again, our team of the week for match day 34 joins again for the next season.
Wow, the message sent loud and clear by John Cena.
John Cena becomes the WWE Champion. Week 16.
AJ Styles will remember this moment forever, and so will every John Cena fan. Watch 20 unforgettable years of John Cena. C Nation. 8 p.m. onwards, only on Sony Sports Network.
Remember those 22 yards in England? This is where the journey of Indian cricket began.
The media wrote about the Indian team. We were called dull dogs. ये words जो कान में पड़ते हैं, ये आपका थोड़ा खून खुलवाते हैं.
Where other teams feared to tread, they started leaving their mark.
First time India have beaten England.
They didn't just break records, they created milestones, introduced a new champion to the world.
There is no equivalent to Kapil Dev, and they're probably right.
They feared no one.
India have taken the series.
They fought fire with fire. And they beat the English at their own game.
Let's teach our colonial masters a little bit of a lesson.
This is the story of those architects. Architects in white.
Sony Sports Network.
क्रिकेट ही पहनिए, खाइए, पीजिए और क्रिकेट ही ओढ़िए।
जी हाँ, रविवार 26 जून रात 8 बजे से आयरलैंड वर्सेस इंडिया और शुक्रवार 1 जुलाई से इंग्लैंड वर्सेस इंडिया।
The French emerge at the start of the second half of this fascinating Ligue A Group 1 game in the UEFA Nations League, knowing that there is a possibility, a genuine possibility, that if they lose tonight, they will not be able to retain their UEFA Nations League title that they won a couple of years ago. And of course, to compound things, there is even a possibility that they could come bottom of this group and get demoted to League B. All unthinkable possibilities for this wonderfully talented group of players, and it looks as though they are making a change. I saw Pavard stripped and readied. I wonder if he'll take the place of Koundé, who was playing at right back. We shall see in a moment or two. Doesn't look as though there are any more alterations, but oh yes, there are. Chouameni's out there as well, so a double change at half-time. It is indeed Koundé who has made way for Pavard, and just trying to see who Chouameni has come on for. Maybe it's Camara who has made way. So a double change made by Didier Deschamps. It is indeed Camara who's made way for Chouameni. And he is never a coach who sits back and lets things happen. He is a proactive coach. That's why he's one of the best national coaches around. And he has decided that, having witnessed the first 45 minutes, changes were essential. Don't think either of those were injuries. Neither Koundé nor Camara looked as though they had any problems. So Didier Deschamps has decided to act.
Yeah, and rightly so. He has to right now, as you were saying before, in terms of where they are in the group and what that could mean for them if it stays like this. It's unmanageable for them, really. So, you know, going forward, he's got to change it early. I'm surprised Guendouzi's still on, purely for the fact of the yellow card. But, you know, we've talked about Chouameni before, haven't we, in terms of, again, how good he is. Such a talented young player to have in the ranks, and we've enjoyed watching him previously, and I'm sure he'll, again, bring some much needed sort of grit to the midfield at times. I think it was quite passive, I would say, at times, that France midfield in the first half, so he'll bring just a little bit of energy to that.
Straight involved as well. He started the first 3 games, only French player to do so. So it's not a surprise to see him out there at the start of the second period. Everybody else has remained the same, although Pavard has now come on for Koundé down the right-hand side, and Mbappe was certainly not inconspicuous in the first half, and he's already looking as though he's in the mood at the start of the second. The game burst into life in the opening moments when the referee gave Croatia a penalty confirmed by VAR and tucked in by Modric. Pavard's first involvement is to foul Brozovic, and this was Mbappe, who, to be fair, was probably the most lively French performer in the first half, already weaving his patterns in the opening moments of the second.
Yeah, and I think these Croatia players for the first 5 or 10 minutes will be expecting France to really come out the traps early, put them under lots of pressure. So I think for this first 5, 10, even 15 minutes, Croatia have got to weather the storm that's coming their way.
Dean plays it down the line to Rabiot. Gets the better of Pasalic, finds Chouameni. He hits it on target, but it's just a bit of fielding practice for Ivušić in the Croatian goal. But already a signal of intent from Chouameni.
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like it's probably the first save he's actually had to make that's on target. So, as you say, it was quite passive, to say the least. But at least it's positive in terms of getting the shot on target.
Back into possession, but briefly, and it was cleared. But, Chouameni's future's now been concluded. He is now a Real Madrid player. So he's got no distractions off the field. He can concentrate very much on what's going on the park.
Not a bad midfield. Kroos, Modric, Camavinga. The list goes on.
Ridiculous, isn't it? As if they were struggling in that part of the pitch. So they've got themselves a real athlete in Chouameni. Now, is that onside? Well, the flag has stayed down and it's just helped over the bar. And now the flag goes up. Budimir is denied by Maignan, but the flag did eventually go up. Obviously, with VAR, that has to happen these days. It was the right decision. But Maignan saved it anyway, just about.
Yeah, it could have gone over his head, couldn't it, and dropped into the net. But what I love about that is the first time pass there, it's sort of on the half volley. It's a lovely weight of pass, and Budimir just can't quite get his run right to keep himself on side. But again, positive from Croatia.
This is the thing, France are dominating possession there, driving forward with regularity, but Croatia continue to have decent opportunities to get the second goal of the game.
Yeah, they're going to know that, Croatia. They know, as I say, that France are going to come out quickly and they're going to have to weather a storm, but equally that means that there's going to be spaces in behind to exploit because they are flooding so many numbers forward.
There's another opportunity, but the pass goes astray from Pasalic towards Kovacic, and away comes Nkunku, who's caught by Brozovic, and he'll get carded, and he'll be the first player wearing black to do so this evening. Nkunku didn't like the challenge from Brozovic.
No, he didn't. It's a brilliant piece of play from him again. You think this moment's gone, the ball's just behind it, but brings it with him again and gets his ankles clipped and, yeah, draws the foul.
I'll tell you what's got everything this game. Brilliant talent on both sides, well-drilled defence against some magnificent attackers, excellent attacking play on the counter-attack from the visiting team who lead, and it's feisty. What more could you want from a late evening in France?
And as you say, there's that aggression about the game as well. We've got a feeling at any point it could boil over for both the good and bad reasons. It's keeping us on the edge of our seats.
The first half was full of incident. No reason to think it'll be any different with France facing the genuine possibility of going out of the UEFA Nations League effectively this evening. It is the potential, if it stays the same here, in terms of them topping the group and reaching the finals next June. Modric, did he keep it in play? No, he didn't. France throw.
I think because of the start they've had, regardless of what happens tonight, it means in September for France with the remainder of these games, it's the 2 games left, isn't it? They'll have a lot to do.
Absolutely. We're home to Austria and away to Denmark in September. Denmark playing simultaneously tonight against Austria. They'll be expected to win that game, and if they do, and this stays the same, be a 7-point gap, 2 games to play. France can't win the group. Here's Lukadin, played by Pasalic.
I like this positioning here. This is the earlier chance, actually. It was a lovely reverse ball from Chouameni into Nkunku. Again, getting the shot on target, not with the power behind it that he's going to want to trouble the keeper, but positive momentum going forward nonetheless.
Chouameni claims of handball. Referee says no. Kimpembe, Guendouzi, Benzema, Mbappe. Good tackle by Modric. Gets it back a second time, the Croatian captain. Kimpembe with the challenge on Budimir.
a good challenge, had to get it right, because if he doesn't get that right and the ball drops fortuitously, again they were left themselves open, France.
Well, they're gambling, no question about it. And Croatia do have the ability to find that final ball to maybe send Budimir clear. It was only just offside earlier. Enough encouragement for them to know that they could just sneak a second goal before French get an equaliser. Budimir stays down, but I think he's okay, and the referee's told him to get up. So forward come France with Chouameni, and now Rabiot, and Konate, Guendouzi. Konate once more, Chouameni, Benzema, Rabiot, Dean. Nice play from Benzema, Mbappe, Benzema, brilliant! Is there a finish at the end of it? Not quite. Rabiot, no, he can't get it away either. That combination, Benzema and Mbappe, almost unlocking Croatia.
Wow, what intricate play that is to get to that point, and Benzema, the feet again, it was so reminiscent in a different way of the goal we saw from him earlier in the tournament.
Absolutely, it really was reminiscent of that. Now this one breaks for Chouameni, who's certainly made a tremendous impact in the 9 minutes he's been on the pitch. That athleticism, that drive from midfield. Look how many times he's linking the play. And then the shot from distance from Benzema. Sorry, Mbappe, I beg your pardon, and just whistles by. Is there a touch from the goalkeeper? Possibly.
Get a better angle from this, but he hits it so well, it's dipping, and yeah, fingertips, and makes you wonder if the keeper didn't get that touch, if that's going in that side netting of the left-hand corner of the goal. I'm saying I always think with those, the keeper's probably happy that it's a goal kick and he's not going to face a corner, but are they almost a bit miffed that they didn't get the credit for the save?
Yeah, true enough. So I was thinking about Benzema when Mbappe hit the shot, but I tell you what, that combination on the edge of the area between the two of them was just so lovely to see. And this game is bubbling along nicely.
He was unlucky, Benzema there. He was just, you could see he just wanted that half a yard just to be able to get the shot off in the end, but just run out of space in the end with, again, the Croatia players getting back and putting their bodies onto line to protect the goal and their goalkeeper.
Very well drilled and very robust, Croatia. So, Mbappe and Benzema and Kunku will have to be at their very, very best, it would seem. Kovacic plays it forward. Kovacic wants it back. Guendouzi comes to meet him, wins it from him. Here's Benzema. Trying to find Nkunku, couldn't quite.
It's a good tackle, that interception from Guendouzi. He had to get that right. We know he's already on the yellow card and does very well, not just to win it back, but to drive forward and then find a French shirt.
Here's Pasalic on the counter-attack. Ivanovic joining in. Kovacic, Brozovic, and Modric. To hold possession for a few moments, draw the sting out of the French. They know the French are in a hurry. Kovacic, Brozovic, Modric once more.
And as you say, for this first 10 minutes, it's been wave after wave really from France trying to find the equaliser. So managing the game is so important in this moment when Croatia do get time on the ball, just to keep it and take the game away from France.
This is a very welcome breather for Croatia. French really did come at them as they would have expected, as they would have discussed, I'm sure, in the half-time interval. Now they're just drawing some of the sting out of it. The pop it forward. Oh, that's a really poor header by Pavard. What an opportunity here, and it almost reaches Pasalic, and in the end it was a sliding challenge. Is it by Luca Dean, who maybe just got a piece of the ball?
Chouameni, actually, that we talk about his engine, and we'll see it in the replay, but I'm sure it's him that's making his way back to make that tackle. Whoever it was a phenomenal tackle, a goal-saving tackle, you'd imagine.
Both Chouameni and Luca Dean went for it at the same time as Pasalic was about to hit the shot. Yeah, it is Chouameni, and on the way through it's sort of he that catches his own man, but what an opportunity. Pasalic just ready to explode. That is brilliant from Chouameni.
I think Juranovic as well does really well initially because he anticipates what's going to happen and the ball's going backwards, so he does really well. I'm just wondering if when he sort of hits it with the outside of his foot just to bring it round, can he hit it then? Can he have a shot on goal? And I know he's trying to find a teammate, but I think sometimes in that position you've got to be a bit selfish.
Just looking back at that shot from Mbappe, and the more you look at it, the more you think what a very good save it was. And you're right, will he be disappointed that it didn't go for a corner and that it'll never go down as a save officially?
Yeah, I mean, if they win this game, I'm sure he'll be happy regardless. But yeah, it's something that I do always wonder about the goalkeepers. As I say, they're probably happy they don't face the corner, but a bit miffed that they don't get the credit they deserve for the save.
End of all of that, it's going to be an uncontested drop ball. Cardini's okay. And in the 14 minutes that Chouameni's been involved in this game, we have seen all these attributes. Driving forward, getting the French from one end of the pitch to the other, and then within 35-40 seconds he's making a brilliant intervention defensively at the other end of the pitch. They've got themselves a real start, Real Madrid.
Yeah, I think for one it's I know it's early on, but the willingness and the fitness and the speed to get back in that position, and then the timing, because if he gets that wrong there, it's another penalty to Croatia. So yeah, expert timing to be able to get the challenge in.
Yeah, Mbappe doesn't go to plan. Modric picks up the loose one. That's a little clip on the heel of Guendouzi, so a free kick to the French.
I think you can see it with the French as well. There's been a little bit of a change in shape. You can see it there. Benzema and Mbappe almost level with each other, whereas on the first half Mbappe was out really wide on the left-hand side.
We saw Griezmann warming up as well. Kunku's gone out to the right-hand side a bit more. Here he is on towards Mbappe, and here is Mbappe, and it's just off the legs of the goalkeeper. Fancied him to stick that one in the corner, but he didn't quite hit it with enough power. Griezmann's one of those with his hands on his head.
Yeah, lovely little ball outside of the foot there by Nkunku. Good weight of pass, and as you say, you're expecting that just to roll into the net, but the keeper stands up for long enough and makes it difficult for Mbappe.
Just beyond the hour mark. Terrific match. Mbappe tries to get to the clearance from the corner. Rabiot was close by as well. Again, the little ball through from Nkunku. It's eye-catching once more from him. Here's Guendouzi. Now Nkunku. Chouameni.
I think one of the big differences already in this half is the Croatia keeper. He's actually had saves to make. He's had to make saves rather than watch the ball be cut out by the defenders in front of him, or maybe a shot whistle past his post.
Plus the intensity is all there from the French. Surely they have a cutting edge as well with the array of talent available. Here's Pavard giving that away. He's not had a great quarter of an hour since he came on. It was his poor ball back that let Croatia in earlier. Now there's a challenge by Pavard, and I'll tell you what, he's had a 16 minutes or so to forget.
He really has had a bit of a nightmare already. He's not hit the ground running, and conversely you look at Chouameni, the way that he started in this second half, in his first 15 or so minutes, really hit the ground running and bringing something to the team, whereas Pavard, it's completely on the opposite scale at the moment.
Huge impact in the wrong way. Pavard really out of sorts in the game the other day as well. Not sure if he's one of those players who maybe is a little more fatigued than others, I don't know. But, He's not had a great 17 minutes. He was brought on to replace Koundé, not because of an injury, but because he wanted to, because Didier Deschamps wanted his fullback to drive forward a little more down that right-hand side. But, he's already been booked. Here's Brozovic, who's also been booked in this second half, which continues to rattle on. Modric. And a great touch from Brozovic, and there's Mbappe with Ivanovic close by.
Interesting one. I don't think there's much in that challenge. He might catch him with his studs, and sometimes the innocuous ones actually hurt more than you think, but we'll see it here. I don't think there's much wrong with that, to be honest. Gets the ball. Yeah, maybe it's the way that the studs catch him, and you don't know potentially what else is going on. As players, we always play with bruises and knocks, and if it catches you sometimes in the wrong way, it's probably more painful than what it looks.
Ivanovic won the ball. To be fair, on the follow through, he apologised. Well, that was the lovely ball through by Nkunku. Mbappe couldn't quite finish it. I suppose you have to give credit to Schutalo, sorry, not Schutalo, it's Ehrlich, the centre half. Again, just staying with him and staying big with him. That was the chance for Benzema earlier.
You just see that last touch just gets away from him ever so slightly. Mbappe, he really does look in some bother here.
He does. He's stayed down. It's going to be Croatia that now make the change. And Maya is coming on for them. Michelic is the player making way. It's not an injury, it's a tactical switch. Maya is an attack-minded player. The concerns at the moment are for Mbappe following that challenge by Ivanovic.
Really does look innocuous. And don't get me wrong, he does catch him. It might be just the way his ankle bends ever so slightly, but it's a difficult one to see why he's in as much pain as he is.
I wonder if it's like a jarring. He just seemed to... I don't think it was the contact, it wasn't an impact, it was kind of the way he hopped over the challenge more than anything. It looks as though he's okay to continue.
Yeah, hopefully it's one of those injuries that you can run off, but you just say there walking on the pitch shaking his head. He doesn't look happy.
To try and play his part though. This time Canate goes long towards Rabiot. Din, Benzema, Chouameni tries to find Pavard. There's too much on it. Again, that vision from the Real Madrid midfielder.
Yeah, and you see that's the bit of the difference in terms of what Pavard does give in terms of going forward. I think Koundé is slightly more defensive-minded in that sense, and just obviously the stage of the game where France now have to keep committing players and have to roll the dice. I understand the change with Pavard because he does bring that attacking presence.
Okay, looks as though he's just about okay. Benzema trying to tee him up. There's Rabiot. It's nice. Dean just thought, was he? Referee says goal kick. And there's a yellow card for Rabiot for protesting. Lucas Dean pleads for a penalty. The referee says goal kick.
Again, we get the benefit of the replay, which we'll see here, but it looks clumsy at best. We'll see it here. There's a bit of a click of the ankle there. There's a click of the ankle there, and you know Maya there can put his hands up, but he's trying to stay up for me, Lucas Dean, and he rides a couple of challenges.
The VAR are in operation, but if there was a check, there's no evidence that it has had much of a say. Of course, that is the thing. They have to believe there was a clear and obvious error made by the referee.
Yeah, and I think as well it's hard, I always think from a player perspective, and referees that maybe haven't played the game, you know when you're in that situation, running at full pelt and you're trying to keep your balance, the littlest of knots can, take you off balance, and that's what we've seen there. And I think, I say, players understand that, whereas referees probably don't always see that side of it and think it's soft. But it's so hard to keep your balance when you're trying to think about everything else and getting the ball in the box.
Activity on the sideline. There's plenty of activity on the pitch as we reach the three-quarter point of this absorbing contest. Benzema forces the throw. Chouameni goes all the way back to Konate, Kimpembe, Dean. Coman is warming up briskly. Guendouzi, Konate, Chouameni, Rabiot, Dean, towards Rabiot again. Myers back defender. French throw.
Looking at this, and it really does remind me of some of the training drills you have in terms of attack versus defence, the phases of play of attacking, and that's what France are doing, but they're just getting no joy whatsoever.
So Modric is just caught by his new colleague, Chouameni, and he's bought some time for his team to get a breather.
Modric is, again, very clever, isn't he? Experienced, the way he uses his body there. He can see in front of him and know that there's no teammates with him, so he's happy to feel that contact and draw the foul.
Coman is about to come on. I imagine that it will be Nkunku that makes way. He's a bit unlucky. He's been moved out to the right-hand side. He was a lot more effective in the hole behind Mbappe and Benzema. So he's still on the pitch at the moment as he releases the pass to Pavard. On it goes towards Mbappe. It's smuggled away just about. Guendouzi keeps it in French possession. Pavard is there again. To be fair, Brekalo closes off the route to the byline. Nkunku again, Guendouzi. Nkunku. Benzema. Mbappe. Benzema hits Mbappe. Might break for Mbappe. Goalkeeper pounces.
It's just so difficult for these French players. I'm looking when Pavard got down the right-hand side. Missed the right ball in, but there's almost a back six at times. And again, you see it there, France are then having to play so intricately centrally. But again, there's so many numbers, and they need the ball to fall for them and be fortuitous. But for there, you see Kylian Mbappe, it just rolls away into the arms of the Croatia goalkeeper.
First half, Croatia were largely keeping French at bay. They weren't allowing them to do anything other than have maybe speculative efforts from range, but it's not the case any longer. And now it's Croatia who are ready to introduce changes, one of whom was Kramaric, so I imagine Budumi's night will soon be over.
He's worked extremely hard to try and hold up the play for his teammates, defended from the front. I'm not surprised these 70 minutes he really has put a shift in, and Kramaric again could potentially come off the bench and be a hero against France.
The player coming on is Nikola Vlasic of West Ham United. There's Meyer, who could easily have given away a penalty had things gone a little differently.
I think the French were very unlucky with that, and they will feel hard done by, I think, especially when they see the replays back.
And here's Brekalo looking to take on Pavard. Not a bad ball either. Meyer's in the clear. Good save by Maignan. Hit that really crisply, Meyer. And Maignan has not had that much to do in the second half. Reacted very, very well.
Yeah, Brekalo does so well there. You see he's got 4 French defenders around him, then so clever just to lay it off to Meyer, and it's a fantastic snapshot, and that's what I like when players take the ball early, because you can outfox the keeper, but Maignan there is equal to it. Good save from him.
So 3 substitutions. Not surprised that Budimir is making way. He's certainly worked extremely hard for his team. Rich will take his place. Coman comes on for the French, and it is indeed the unlucky Nkunku who makes way. The second change sees Vlasic coming on. The second Croatian change, I beg your pardon.